Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations, Carolyn Bennett, joins me here outside the House of Commons amid the COVID-19 pandemic, which has delayed the delivery of a national action plan dealing with missing and murdered Indigenous women in Canada on the one-year anniversary of the final report. Minister, thanks for joining me. A year ago, the Prime Minister accepted the finding that what happened was genocide, but that's not exactly what the inquiry said. The report said what happened is genocide and is happening. How ready are you to admit that today?
Well, I think that what we've accepted the report and we are working on that, and what we have to do is work every day to stop this national tragedy where Indigenous women and girls and Two-Spirit and gender diverse people are dying. So we need, and that's what the families have asked us. I mean, today and in this week, this horrible week, we have to accept the racism that is inherent in colonization is something that every Canadian needs to actually commit to speaking out against and changing that way that Indigenous people are received in Canada.
But is it genocide?
I think that, again, we received the report. I think that it's really important that for my job, we have to look forward.
Okay, there was a statement put out this morning by the commissioners. They really panned your government's lack of action this past year. They're telling families to seek outside assistance and oversight. How do you respond?
Well, I think that because this was the first national public inquiry, it requires all provinces and territories, all Indigenous governments, everyone to respond, and that's what we've been able to do. And I think that they did compliment the Yukon government and the real collaboration that's happening there. This is an example for all of the provinces and territories going forward, and we look forward to lifting up those promising and proven practices as we develop the National Action Plan together. I
want to ask you, how urgently have you been drafting this National Action Plan over the last year? And how much of it is done? 50%, 60%? Where are we and when can you see it? Well,
I think that you'll see on the website today that the contributions from FEMMACHIF, from Pautudik, NWAC are there, and that we now need to work with them and the provinces and territories for us to be able to, having gathered their input, to now be able to work towards a National Action Plan. We will not let the families and survivors down. We will get this done.
The Prime Minister put out a statement today, but the families are responding, saying there really hasn't been enough consultation with them and with people at the grassroots level. What's your message to the families? What's your message to people who are feeling left out right now?
I had a really good conversation with the Manitoba Coalition this morning, and I think that it was important to hear directly from them. I think the funding that was given to NWAC and Pautudik and FEMMACHIF, FEMMOCLUCTUN, that they have been working to actually engage with families, and I think that certainly the gatherings that happened with FEMMACHIF and Pautudik have delivered a very strong advice that included families and survivors.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there for today. I want to thank you for doing this, Minister Bennett. This is Brett Forster for APTN National News in Ottawa. Back to you in Winnipeg.